Democrat Don Davis is trying to hold on to his seat in Congress in District 1. He faces Republican candidate Lori Buckhout, an Army veteran and former business owner. Experts say is the only competitive district in the Tar Heel state because of redistricting. District 1 stretches from Currituck County all the way down to Lenoir County. And now that the district is viewed as more moderate, analysts say there is a reasonable chance the seat could flip.
She's got some advantages on the issues. He's got some advantages because of his name recognition.
Congressman Davis, who's also a veteran, says he wants to rebuild a rural economy and increase access to health care. Buckhout would like to see more money directed towards taking care of veterans and their families and less towards the bureaucratic infrastructure of the VA.
In North Carolina, you still have about an hour and a half left to cast your vote if you haven't already, little less than an hour and a half at this point. And right now, some voting precincts show no signs of slowing down. Madison Schlegel is at one poll in Elizabeth City. Madison, what are you seeing out there?
Yeah, we've been here since about 4:30 this afternoon, and voters, including mostly students, have not only been showing up, but hanging out. And while it's died down a little bit from the afternoon surge here, there are still steady streams of people who are coming to cast their votes in North Carolina. And those college students that we've spoken to tell us that they're not just voting and leaving. Instead, they're having conversations with each other about the election and what they hope to see after tonight. Janari Carroll is one of those students who spoke with us. He's studying for his graduate degree at Elizabeth City State University. Carroll tells us that seeing a turnout like this one that is largely student-based gives him hope for the future.
We're the future. We're tomorrow. And, you know, in school, you always get taught history. You always heard, well, what happened back then. Well, we ain't worried about back then. We're in the now, and the now sets up for the later.
And again, there's still a little bit more than an hour to come cast your vote in North Carolina. The polls here close at 7:30. And just a reminder, if you are in line by 7:30, you still will be permitted to vote. Live in Elizabeth City, Madison Schlegel, 13 News Now.
Yeah, stay in line. Madison, thanks. And as a reminder, if you requested an absentee ballot but didn't fill it out, you must return it in person at your polling location in order to vote before polls close tonight. Of course, the presidential election is top of mind for most Americans tonight.
Yeah, former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris hope their final messages were enough to sway undecided voters across the nation. I spoke with our two political analysts about those closing messages. Both of them agreed the tone of this last week has been extremely different between the former president and vice president.
Most of her closing over the past couple of days hasn't been about former President Trump, right? I think it's been a little bit more optimistic. You can see his message, I think, is much more maybe divisive than hers has been.
I think people will undoubtedly see that these are two different messages.
And we will hear more from Drs. Coggle and Watson throughout the night as results begin to trickle in.